Okay, let's give this computer another go on chess.com. I'm going to try 2 games against it. And the time controls are 5-2. So, alright, let's see if I could establish control of the center, or stake claim to the center here with my pawn on d5. So, going with the kingside fianchetto, and, well, alright, we're going to go for this, aren't we? I'm going to capture on this square. Queen c2, a6, Catalan, yes. There's other moves than queen takes here, but that's the line it's going with. So it's a very committal move. I get in b5 though, and now I've weakened these 2 squares, and the big idea is to somehow get in c5. This pawn is backward and my biggest liability. So how do I deal with that? First things first, this pawn is hit. And I think bishop here is the right idea to neutralize that pressure, so let's go with it. And white is okay with this capture. I could double the pawns, and it may seem like there's a weakened king position, but it's not really a position that's accessible. I can't really attack it. So I think just develop knight here. Did I already misplay this? No, I was thinking maybe instead of the bishop here, I should have played bishop to e4 first. Alright, let's see. What other moves to consider? Knight here's the top one. Knight here. If e4, then maybe I'd take. Alright, I think the knight needs to go here. It's natural, it's good. I want to keep this pawn free to move. It watches over this square. Wow, okay, now bishop's hit. What's wrong with just taking? I'll have to watch out for this now. The queen is maybe going to sink into that c6 square, so this is an interesting move. I don't think I do well to do anything but just capture. Is there some other consideration? Alright, let's go with that. Now I have to deal with the queen maybe getting into this square. This is tricky. Yeah, this is gonna be tough now. It's gonna be difficult to dislodge a piece once it's on c6. If one day this knight could somehow get in here, that's gonna be a pain. So maybe I could work around a queen or a rook, but a knight getting here will just kill me. Alright, so any move I do to try and prep this advance is going to be met with queen to c6. It's no fun. Maybe I should look into another pawn break. Maybe if I eliminate this pawn, this c5 move would be a little bit easier to get in. Maybe I could do queen e7 and then push here. I'm weakening these squares, though. That knight will kill me one day on f5. Not so easy. I mean, I could do queen here to here. This pawn is just, it's forever a liability. I'm going to go with this. It's such a pain. Yeah, look at the pressure on this pawn. What a bug. Maybe I just keep this tension. Maybe, you know, if this capture ever occurs, I take with the pawn. I don't have to worry about him anymore. Could view it like that. What do I do in the meantime, though? How do I progress here? Get this advance in, and then after it takes, I take with the knight. Might be something to that. Let me go with it. I'm gonna keep my bishop around right here. There goes that knight. Bump my queen up. Oh, he could still go there. The queen's there to watch over it. Really? Wasn't expecting that. Wow. Take with the queen. There's knight tempo. It moves. What's wrong with just bishop takes? That really surprised me. Take with the bishop. He's still a liability. Yeah. I knew that. I knew he was going to go there. Wow, this f5 square is going to crush me. Wow. Okay, where else should I go with my bishop? Should I move my bishop? Move my bishop, there's knight here to f5. You see, this is definitely not the type of position to get in against this computer where you have to calculate it. There's all these open lines. I was hoping for something much more closed, but it clearly did not happen, and I'm under a minute. And, okay, let's see. What do I do with this guy? Back him up? Let's hang on to him. There's going to be knight here stuff. No, playing on both sides of the board, huh? Okay. Maybe it's just playing for time. Maybe it's just playing for time. I don't want more lines opened up. Don't really think that that's the best move, but I'm going to have to just go with it. I guess maybe we could just try for a queen trade. Have an easier time playing. No, we got that one. Okay. Can I hold this one to a draw? That's my big question. That's going to be very difficult to do. Very difficult to do that. Let's give that knight a kick. Alright. Oops. I got that increment, though. Living on the increment. Oh, rook here is nice. Yep, there goes one pawn, and soon others are going to fall. I can feel it. I can definitely feel it. Alright, let's get my rook active. I'm not giving up so easily. Let's do this. Knight here next. Oh, he's gonna kill me. That knight. That's it. I'm just not gonna resign. I'm just gonna let it end like that. I'm down on time and position. The big threat here is a fork, and also just the threat of capturing here with a fork here. Can't defend against both, I'm pretty sure. And I'm down a pawn. Alright, let's try one more. That was terrible. I need to get a better position to work with. One that's closed. So let's go with this. Or something more positional. The more open the position, the more difficult it is to beat this computer. Alrighty. So, Slavland. Is that what we're entering? Okay. Let's go with e3. Maybe I go after the bishop if he's coming out there. Alright. Maybe. Let's develop the knight first. And what now? Queen here? Let's do that. Get out of the pin. Maybe I could get in knight e5 and pick up the bishop. Maybe. Knight e5, c5. I don't like c5. c5 queen here. If I had my bishop outside the pawn chain, I'd really consider this. But not now. I think this is a fine reply. After c5, queen c7 is good, and then after knight d7, it's difficult to stop the e5 break. So, what other thing can I be doing? The queens are in tension with one another. Knight e5 comes to mind. Tempo on the bishop. Eventually he's going to get challenged, though, with bishop here, knight here. Maybe I should still be doing that. Let's see where the bishop is going to go. Bishop f5. Okay, I think I just have to go with some fairly tame moves. Bishop to e2. I guess. Let's just develop. And if knight d7, do I play f4 or do I take? I really think I want to take. I don't want to weaken this square. This light square bishop is outside the pawn chain. And I think black would have a very easy game if I weaken my e4 square by trying to support my knight on e5. It'd be different if this bishop was back behind the pawn chain, but I'm not so big on this f4 move. So I think since I can't support the knight, that I should probably just take him out, at least force black into retreating. And now just follow up. I think I have to do what exactly? I would like to get in this advance. That's not so easy to do, though. What's my dark square bishop going to do? Not sure. That's probably the only square you could go to. Okay, the queens are off. All right. So now maybe I could shoot for something like f3, e4. Or f3. Yeah, f3, how do you stop e4? Maybe there's just a counter strike in the center, but then again I have pressure here. I want to keep this tension. It makes life difficult for these breaks, c5 and e5, for as long as I keep this tension. I'm fine if takes here. It's undoubling my pawn. So I'm looking at f3, and you know what? I also have some concern about the bishop playing to c2 to attack this pawn. It looks as though I'd have to come back here. But okay, if f3 and knight here, and then g4, I could kick the bishop around and the knight around. I'm gonna try this. Trying to expand in the center. And there goes the knight. Okay. I think this is fine. g4. Bishop c2. I think I have to come back here, so... Okay. I have control over this knight, though. This pawn is very, very good in boxing out this knight. I can't really give that pawn up, can I? Okay, let's do this. We can have back and forth? No. Okay, hang on. Interesting. That really is interesting. Alright, let's induce some weaknesses here. I'm threatening to trap this bishop, or no, not really. It wouldn't be trapped. It has this square too. This bishop is a bug. He's a real pain. Maybe I could get my knight into f4. That might not be a bad square. It seems like a pretty good square. I don't want to do this because it weakens g5. Maybe the knight or bishop can make use of that. I'm thinking about rerouting my knight, and now I'm kind of giving up on this e4 idea. Right? There's just too much control over it. I can't do this. My rook is unprotected after takes. I can't recapture. So I'm thinking about knight e2 to f4. Let's go with it. Yeah, that stopped. I see. But maybe I'm still going to go there. Yep, let's go there still. Pawns are doubled, but I get the bishop pair. I could support this. Ooh, okay. That pawn's hit, huh? Alright, well... Now I don't want to give up the bishop pair so easily. I was thinking about this move. I get my king working. I'm in at 3. Doesn't matter how much time I set the initial controls to. This thing's always going to fly. So I've weakened this square significantly. The knight's ready to jump in there. Yeah, what can I do about that? Well, I think I'm going to have to try and stop the knight from getting in there. I mean, you could always get there by way of g6, knight here. Kind of figured that was going to come. Why not? And I think I have to take him out. I cannot allow a piece to get here. So look at my structure. Isn't it beautiful? It's one of the most beautiful structures you will ever see. Hitting the bishop. Is there a way to hold this? Alright, let's keep rolling here. Is it savable? Okay, it might be savable. No. If I do this, there's pawn push. And if I take, the rook takes with check. Ugh. I maybe did that one too fast. Yeah, you know, the rooks are going to get so active. Yeah, I didn't do well to stop those rooks from getting active. But you know what? Maybe I could still kind of play this on. Let's see. Is this savable? I run over here with my king. A bishop here, maybe? Let's try that. Oh, man. Why didn't I see that move? Okay, I gotta take. No time to think. My king needs to come over here. Oh, man. Alright, let's take that guy out. What's the big trick with that? Okay. Oh, I'm in a giant knot. I am definitely in a giant knot. Let's do this. Pawn push. These pawns are going to get picked off one by one. What do you see? As soon as there's a rook over here on the 4th rank. Can this be held? This rook is just way too good. Way too good. Run pawn. Save the day somehow. Rook check. Figures. That's my only hope. Look at that rook. What a monster. What a bishop. He's gone. Oh, there was nothing that I could have done. Well, maybe there was something I could have done, but this game is long beat. Oh, that was so painful. Man, I didn't even come close in either game. Oh, man. This wasn't holdable. Was this just the wrong idea? Let me go back here. We're trying to get a central expansion in with f3 and e4. I'm talking about after this f3 move, or after the queens are off the board. What a bug that bishop was. Yeah, this just isn't a good structure. Maybe, you know what, the other idea I could have maybe gone for instead of this more committal g4 move. Yeah, that was too weakening. This maybe as soon as I kick the knight or force the knight maybe to prevent this e4 advance, I should have stopped with this idea of trying to kick around the black pieces and shut down the queen side with c5 and then try to get in b4, b5. The next break I would have to watch out for would be c5 then. As soon as there's no more pressure on this, as soon as I'm playing c5, this is the next good pawn break for black. But they'd have to go back with the knight. Yeah, I think that was a better attempt instead of this lashing out type of move with g4. And the other thing, I guess, to keep in mind would be what? It would be that, you know, I'm not having to react to these threats of the bishop coming down to c2, g4, bishop here stuff. Like if I have my pawn up, he's gonna. I do this move with the intention to play up to here. So maybe that's the direction I could have gone in or should have gone in. Yeah, that was a very weak. Oops, I don't know what happened there. That was a weak. Well, 2 games in a row. But all right. Well, nevertheless, it does happen often like that. And as always, I hope you got something out of this video. Take care. Bye.